What if the magical bond that ties your soul to another isn't a romantic destiny written in the stars, but a cosmic debt collector demanding you settle an ancestral score before you're allowed to feel anything as simple as love? In Bound by Fate, Annabel Chase delivers a paranormal women's fiction novel that dismantles the fated mates trope with surgical precision, proving that in lineages built on obligation, true connection requires breaking the very magic that claims to unite you. This isn't merely another shifter romance with growls and claiming bites. It's a tense, emotionally precise narrative where every pulse of the bond feels like both lifeline and leash. Intimacy is negotiated through resistance rather than surrender. And liberation means choosing each other despite fate, not because of it. From the first iron-scented narration, listeners are plunged into a world where destiny is a cage and free will is the only rebellion left. Perfect for fans of morally complex paranormals and stories where agency triumphs over prophecy. This audiobook serves up relentless tension, unflinching emotional honesty, and protagonists whose journey from bound strangers to sovereign partners resonates with anyone who's ever been told their heart belongs to someone else. When hedge witch Mara Voss is forcibly linked to alpha enforcer Kaylin Thorne during a botched blood ritual, she expects domination, not to discover the bond recognizes her refusal as its own kind of language. But as they navigate pack politics and the suffocating weight of inherited duty, Mara realizes this connection isn't about union, it's about excavation. Chase masterfully avoids reducing the bond to erotic inevitability or Mara to reluctant mate. Instead, she crafts a relationship rooted in radical consent within constraint, where trust is earned through honoring boundaries the magic tries to erase, and where love emerges from mutual defiance rather than mystical compliance. The audiobook narration amplifies this emotional alchemy, capturing Mara's fractured resolution softening into fierce clarity, and Kaylin's disciplined restraint revealing depths beneath alpha composure. You don't just hear the bond evolve, you feel the seismic shift of two souls learning that fate can be rewritten when two hearts refuse to obey. What elevates Bound by Fate beyond typical fated mates fare is its nuanced portrayal of magical bonds as systemic control rather than divine blessing. Mara isn't merely resisting Kaylin, she's confronting centuries of feminine subjugation codified into supernatural law, challenging the notion that safety requires submission. Kaylin doesn't claim her through dominance, he creates space where her autonomy can exist even within the bond's pull, honoring her right to say no when every instinct screams yes. Their relationship evolves through acts of radical reciprocity, sharing silence during bond surges that bypass performance, setting limits that protect both individuality and partnership, and defending each other from pack elders who mistake obedience for loyalty. Supporting characters add vital texture, beta wolves whose silence masks complicity, elder witches whose wisdom carries both warning and grief. Even the bond itself, rendered as sentient archive whose pulses hold memories of women who were never allowed to choose. Every interaction reinforces the novel's core truth. In systems built on predestination, choice is insurgency, and presence is the only true magic. Even the paranormal mechanics serve thematic depth, with bond fluctuations mirroring emotional integration and claiming rituals becoming metaphors for conscious commitment over inherited debt. For audiobook listeners, this production is an immersive sensory descent into elegant dread. The narrator embodies Mara and Kaylin with remarkable distinction. Mara's voice carries steel wrapped in dawning sovereignty, while Kaylin's resonant timbre trembles with suppressed emotion beneath disciplined cadence, making their chemistry palpable even in conflict. Sound design enhances atmosphere without overwhelming intimacy. Distant howls marking pack hierarchy shifts, rain against forest cabins during vulnerable confessions, the hushed thrum of the bond sinking with breath during moments of rupture, all anchor mythic stakes in tangible reality. Pacing mirrors the rhythm of resistance and reconciliation, deliberate during negotiation and reflection, then surging with urgency as external threats force irreversible choices. Whether you're navigating daily commutes or lying awake in darkness, the audiobook creates a portable sanctuary where isolation feels absolute and connection feels like oxygen. It's storytelling as embodied rebellion, transforming passive listening into active participation in a love story that refuses to be ordained. Ultimately, Bound by Fate redefines paranormal romance by centering female agency within deterministic frameworks. It satisfies genre cravings for intense chemistry and high-stakes tension, while delivering substantive commentary on bodily autonomy, patriarchal magic systems, and the radical act of building partnerships based on equality rather than destiny. No prior series knowledge is needed, it stands confidently as a complete emotional odyssey. If you've ever wondered whether love can exist outside of fate's design, or if true strength requires rejecting what's promised, this audiobook will affirm that sometimes the most powerful bond is the one you choose to forge yourself. Press play, break the chain, and prepare to believe that even in landscapes shaped by prophecy, hearts still find ways to beat in time with their own truth. Your next favorite paranormal romance isn't waiting in destined embraces. It's waiting in the brave, trembling choice to write your own ending.